Yeah, we doing our own thing. We're driving in our California now. But hey, where's that money? You gonna give me that money? Charles, I want my money. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And the queen, she wasn't going to give my son a title. Well, yeah, I know it came out today that she wanted to give us the Earl of Dumbarton, but I ain't want Dumbarton, so I'm just going to say she didn't give us nothing. I'm just going to say we didn't even get a title. Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. Hope you are doing well today. Really. Now someone sent me some information about a text that Serena Williams did, and I just could not believe it. I almost got sick too just reading it. I couldn't believe that she would write something so glowing of Harry's wife and not really know that, you know, she's been somewhat under the spell as well of her friend. I mean, to me, it's just gobsmacking that Serena, someone who actually looks like a black woman, cannot see the pretentiousness, can't see how her friend is trying to get over on this whole racist thing. Now, you know, I don't want people to think that I believe that Harry's wife has never encountered racism. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that if she's encountered racism, it's not until they find out who her mother is or what her mother looks like. No one's, or if they decide to be racist against her for whatever reason, most people have experienced some type of racism. Even white people. I know some racist black people, okay? I just know it happens. It happens to everybody. The racism and the things that I am talking about in terms of black people really is the kind of racism that is when you see someone that looks like an ethnic person. Harry's wife doesn't look ethnic at all. She's had apparently some nose jobs, and she always wears her hair straight. She never wears it curly, kinky to try to identify as an ethnic woman. So I can't imagine that she would ever have experienced racism in the same kind of way that Serena Williams has. And so for Serena to take up for her friend that looks white and to equivoque that they've experienced racism the same is a slap in the face. Because I can assure you, they have not. And I know Serena has felt some very stark, very blunt in your face racism from being on the tennis court. So it's not the same. It just is not the same. And I'm just really shocked that she would put out the tweet that she did saying what she said. It's unbelievable. So the other thing was that, you know, I on my channel talk about a lot of things, and it is really unprecedented, the things that we are experiencing with the royals right now. And this has really only come into play since Harry got married to that woman. And this marriage has really caused something that we have never really seen before. I think we've seen it on a smaller level when Princess Diana was alive towards the end of her life. We were experiencing a lot of hoopla, craziness, family issues. But the way things are happening with Harry and this woman, it really is unprecedented because she is so driven to get what she wants, that she is going through things that really make her out to be a real psychopath. And this is what makes it so newsworthy. This is what gives me content all the time on this channel. You know, if I tell somebody, and I have, like how many videos I've done on this couple, they couldn't believe it. I'm like, I can't either. You mean to tell me there is that much content to talk about that's somewhat interesting because you just can't believe it? You're just like, what? They did what? You know, and it's newsworthy. And it is. And for me personally, I want to make it newsworthy in a way that puts a spin. And well, let's learn from it. Let's learn from these ignorant folk, you know, because they're ignorant at this age. You doing stuff like this You're not no 18, 19-year-old trying to come into the limelight and having not experienced life. Like, this is a couple that has experienced so much that by now they should know better. They should know better. The interview with Oprah and the accusations that they made about not getting titles, when it has come out that they had wanted to not get these titles, one of the titles that was given to them by the Queen, because they didn't like the name Dumbarton and they thought their son would be teased because of the word dumb and Dumbarton. Well, if that's the case, just say that. But they didn't say that. And I believe Lady C mentioned this in her book. It was mentioned. So this is just now becoming more newsworthy, which is good, so that more people will hear about it. I got hot up in here. Put my hair up. Okay, I need to get a fan or something here because it'll be hot in here. And Otis, he don't like sitting next to me no more because it's so hot. So he'll sleep on the floor. Sleep on the floor. Okay, you guys. So let's go through this article about this this headline with the Dumbarton title. It's, you know. And this is the other one I wanted to talk about, with Harry complaining about money. This is a good article by Robert Taylor in the Telegraph, and it's really good because it's saying things that we're all thinking. So, is there anything more unseemly? Is there anything more unseemly than rich people complaining about money? Right. It's like, shut your mouth. You know, I take your money. You gonna complain? Okay, I take it. What you got, and not complain about it. By any normal standards, Harry and his wife are super wealthy. They have an estimated joint worth of nearly 10 million pounds and live in a luxury pad in California overlooking the Pacific. They mix with millionaires and billionaires. Yet Harry saw fit to moan in the blockbuster interview with Oprah that his father had literally cut him off. Now, where do you start with a whine like that? Where do you begin? Okay, so how should we respond to someone who is worth millions, most of inherited, because, you know, he didn't earn that money from being in the military, but he's inherited a lot of his money from having his title and his mother's death, saying that he should have even more. Like, how can you sympathize with someone like that? You know, that deserves a smackdown, because you're just being stupid. You're not even in touch with the world. And this is what makes me so upset, because you've been to other countries. Both you and your wife have been to countries where people are disadvantaged, who are extremely poor. You have seen true poverty. You've worked with these people, but yet you still complain about your own self-worth and value and things that you don't have, after seeing people who have actually struggled and who have hardly anything. And you still don't sympathize with that, or you still can't relate or equate that. And what that tells me is that you think you are so much better than the people that have nothing, that you can't even see that what you have is a privilege. Because you could be this person that has nothing. But instead, you kind of look down, to me, on people that have nothing, because you still feel entitled in your head that you should still have more, and complain about not having money in an interview with Oprah. So let's keep in mind that Harry isn't 19 anymore. He is 36 and his wife is 39. Well, we say, or some say, 44. These are not snotty youngsters. They're mature adults. Exactly. And this is why we say what we say, because they should know better by now. They should know better. Frankly, I'd be ashamed to be living off my parents at that age. However, much security I needed to pay for, there comes a time it shouldn't take until 36 when you need to buy your own dinner. In any case, we now discover that Prince Charles did not actually cut Harry off at all. At least not financially. Newly released clearance house records show that Charles had given the Sussexes and the Cambridges a whopping $4.5 million last financial year. That's how much they got in pounds. So that's more if you could equate it to dollars. It's probably around $6,000, $6 million, something like that. For what? For doing nothing. Just because. You just gonna get it just because. Can I get some money just because? You know, you can't see your privilege in that just because scenario. Just think about that. It's a huge lottery win. I'm pretty sure that if someone had given me $1 million, my first reaction would not be to complain about it. But Harry and Meghan, they have different rules, obviously. Yes, because they think they are of a different ilk. They just feel like they have such entitlement that, hey, go on Oprah and complain and people will have sympathy for you. So do you realize just how spoiled it sounds? Do they even consider that an average person in the United Kingdom earns less than 1% of that gift? Less than 1%. So, and do they even appreciate just how grateful it looks to accept a handout at that scale? No wonder Prince Charles is hit back. In fact, the second time has just been over a week. Harry's family had contradicted the claims. First, we had the matter with Lilibet and whether or not Harry had or hadn't asked the Queen permission to use the name. And just like I said before, if there is a question over her giving you permission, not giving permission, if there's any conflict in that, then you lying. Harry, you lying, because the misunderstanding shows that you just didn't get it right. Because the Queen, I'm sure, is going to make her situation very clear. You're the kind of one that I can see not getting it right. And now the business about the cash gifts running to millions. And now this business about cash gifts running to millions. Given how rare it is for the palace to weigh in on anything at all, particularly when it comes their talks about the family, this all looks very terrible for Harry and his wife. So once again, their attempts at PR have backfired, this time with an even louder bang. How different it could have been before all of these Oprah and California shenanigans. Okay, so he talks about some memories that he has had with Harry. One of them when he was 12 years old, when he was walking behind his mother's coffin. And who couldn't sympathize with him? Harry had it all within his reach to have the sympathy of the public, to grow up to be someone who is worth, you know, supporting because of what he had to endure as a young child. But he messed it all up. He just threw it away, everything that he had going for him, now that he has met this woman who has essentially, I believe, ruined his life. Ruined his life. And what makes my channel, I think, have so much content is because he has essentially allowed this woman to thrust him into the public spotlight with all of these poor choices. And this is why we have found him in a position that could have been avoided. It could have been avoided, and he has put his life on a trajectory that I believe is going to be very detrimental to him and will be his downfall because of this woman that reminds me of a Jezebel. Just does, Jezebel. And Harry just doesn't see it. And if he did see it, I think he would then have some hope for redemption, because he could give his wife a smackdown and straighten her up, you know, in a non-physical way. But you know what I'm saying? Like, put your foot down and say what it is going to be and what it ain't going to be to get your life back on track. But because he can't do these things, he can't put his foot down to show his wife who the man is, his life has spiraled out of control, and he is in that fog because he don't have a backbone. The other one was the adoration in his eyes when he saw Meghan on Princess Charles's arm coming down the aisle. Now this writer saw that. I did not see that, but you know, to each his own what they see. Because when I saw Harry looking at that woman on that day, wow, on the outside it looked beautiful and oh, isn't that lovely? I just could not get around the white dress trying to portray her innocence and perpetrating on that wedding day. Now, it could have just gone wonderfully after that had she been sincere and authentic. But the key for me was in that day she came down that aisle perpetrating like that. She had no business doing that. And if she did have business doing that, then just maybe she could have proven herself after the wedding, which she didn't. And what I was thinking on that day was right, hence the situation that we're in now. I could have been proven wrong, but I wasn't. My thoughts about seeing her in that dress were proven correct. And this is why we have what we have right now. We wanted the best for Harry. Everyone wanted the best for Harry. He had high approval ratings. This was a guy, he was doing it, man. He served in the military, didn't have to. Doing great things, right? So that's why no fewer than 30 million of us had watched the wedding, wishing him and his wife a long and happy marriage. Many of us even welcomed a new and diverse royal image. So much so that even when they left for America, they went with good wishes and sympathy. Okay, it's like, okay, you want to leave? We're going to wash our hands of you. Go do you in California. Go see what you're going to be able to do and make your own money. Go do it. But see, they went to go live in California, and then they just looking in the rear mirror complaining. It's like, yeah, we doing our own thing. We're driving in our California now. But hey, where's that money? You gonna give me that money? Charles, I want my money. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the queen, she wasn't going to give my son a title. Well, yeah, I know it came out today that she wanted to give us the Earl of Dumbarton, but I ain't want Dumbarton, so I'm just going to say she didn't give us nothing. I'm just going to say we didn't even get a title. You know, they driving, they doing them. They looking in the rearview mirror, looking back, complaining. And they getting ready to crash. Because they're not watching where they're going. It's like, pay attention to the road. Go find your own way. And stop looking in the rearview mirror, complaining and lying and giving us a hard time. We said, go do you. We washed our hands of you. But you still want to keep looking back, turning around, causing all kind of problems. It's like, we ain't got time for you. But Harry's attitude since he arrived in LA has eaten up that credit and warmth. It's gone. And he has belittled his own family at a time of grief. He has made questionable claims, and he's accused one member of his royal family of being a racist, and particularly a low blow for him to do something like that, because, you know, before it could have been several people. It's like, well, who's the racist? You know, how he portrayed it, how he and his wife portrayed it. At a time of so much global suffering, he has portrayed himself and his wife uniquely as victims. Yes, and that is why most of us that are older can see through it. Because we see how you ain't learned nothing. You have found your way through life. You've got your privilege. But usually when you get older, you learn things. You become more seasoned with life, and you can kind of understand things better. But you haven't understood anything. He and his wife, and they need to still be taught some lessons, and it's going to continue to have these problems. And this is why I think they are so bad for their families, because they are bringing down their families while they're going down with the accusations, and particularly the royal family. They are essentially causing them heartache and more grief and pain with the suffering of the head of the household, for the queen, her husband. Like, they are doing things that are so unnecessary. And as they pull themselves down with their nonsense, they are pulling down also the royal family, and that essentially, I think, the people of the UK, because they've essentially called the people of the UK racist. So they've given them, the people of the UK, a bad name. Now, I know that the people I feel in the UK are not racist, but this is the image that they are portraying, and the people that support them are eating it up. And just like, yeah, they racist. They's racist, I know. Like, they are going along with the spin. And this is why I'm so disappointed in Serena. Unless Serena is just saying it to be saying it and don't really mean it. I don't know. It's just like, why are you saying what you're saying about this woman? You can't see that. And this is why I think she's essentially, Harry's wife has done a good job trying to get one over on some black people, because she's then made people that are black think that she is like them, and she's not, and nor does she want to be. But she gonna use you to try to gain your sympathy, because she's gonna be like, yeah, you and me, we the same, right? I'm black, well, my mama black, I don't want to be black, but we the same, right? We the same. Yeah, they was racist toward me. What you think about that? See, and this is how they would do you too. And then Serena's like, yeah, they gonna do us like that too. I'm with you, Megan. I'm with you, girl. Come on, let me put a tweet out and say how wonderful you are, girl. You just wonderful. Let me just tweet that out right now. You know, that's what they doing. Unbelievable. So Harry could have remained silent and dignified. In doing so, he would have gained our respect. Indeed, he has appeared self-obsessed, disloyal, and spoiled. He needs to get a grip. Not only that, he needs to get a grip. He needs to put his foot down. He needs to tell his wife enough is enough. I'm sick of these people having stuff to talk about in their YouTube channels. We need to just be quiet, shut up, and do nothing. That's what he needs to say. But he ain't gonna say it because his wife ain't gonna let him say it because she's psycho. They all out of control. So for me, Harry just and his wife have set a new precedent, I think, in marriage and royalty and newsworthy topics, because like Lady C says, you cannot write this. It's just so unbelievable. You cannot write this. And because they don't want to remain silent and dignified, they want to just keep doing what they're doing because they got their PR spin and stuff. You know, they got people making money off of them in terms of their public relations. They've got this public relations spin that they are essentially stirring up. So they don't want to be quiet. Their whole goal is to put out as much PR to get sympathy so that they could have the profile to continue making money. Because what they got ain't enough. They need more. And the black people that ain't woke up from this girl and know and realize that she perpetrating, y'all need to wake up, realize this girl perpetrating. She trying to use y'all to go along, to get along, and to be a victim. And she bringing her husband down and the husband's family along with them. And out of all of this, my hope is that the families of Meghan will rise above and be extremely happy in their relationships with their families that they do still have, and just let Meghan go do Meghan. And when she comes back crawling after she done had her smackdown, y'all give that girl grief. Y'all make her beg and plead to take her back. Okay, you guys, until next time, peace and love. I love you. Bye-bye.